What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? We are here. We are here. We are here. Happy Thursday and happy Real Housewives of Miami. We are back. Now, listen, you guys, this is the whether you like it or not Real Housewives of Miami edition. As you guys know, it's myself. It's JB Says What up here. We also going to have Yakratis in the house, but he couldn't make it this week. Belle Perspective is going to be joining us this season. But you guys know Belle got a lot going on, honey. She got a lot going on. So she can't make it this week either, but she will be here. But we also have a new member on our panel, you guys. Somebody that you've seen. She was a guest over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta panel with us, or might have been Potomac Child, but I know she's been here before, and she actually used to do a panel with El Teddy over on his channel, The Real Housewives of Potomac. So without further ado, let me bring to the stage Leology.
Hi.
Hey, Lee. Hey. How you doing, boo?
I'm good.
So, welcome over here to the shenanigans. Now, listen, you used to be over there with El Teddy and Darren. So I know you ready.
Well, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Oh my God, I apologize. I thought you. I apologize. Lord have mercy. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But hey, you were with us on the Real Housewives. You were
yes,
on the other people.
I did. Okay. Like, it was like years ago, though.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, right? Well, welcome. Come on in. So I'm going to start with you then, as it relates to the Real Housewives of Miami season premiere. Scale of 1 to 10, where would you put this premiere?
It was a solid 9 for me. I enjoyed it. It was on the same level for me as Salt Lake City. It gave me what I needed for me to be invested in whatever is going on with everybody, even the people that get on my nerves.
Listen, you know what? That's how I felt too. JB, scale of 1 to 10. Where did you think last night?
I actually have to give it a 10 because it was beginning to end. I cracked up from the beginning with Alexia and that timeline of Alexia and her having egg on her face after what she said to Lisa last season. And then the final scene with Lisa, Lisa cracked me up when, what's her name? When, as I call her, the drunk said, "Monkey, I think you had a little bit too much to drink." And she said, "Coming from you?"
Right. Right. But baby, listen, Marisol owns all of her drunkenness. She makes no apologies.
That's why that's my girl. That's my girl.
Right. Her cockies, she don't be playing. Did y'all saw it because I put it in the chat. Baby, I need to put that on a shirt. What she said. What she say? Because now I gotta go back and look at it.
What's good for your whole is not good for the heart or something.
What's good for your whole is not good for your heart.
Your soul or something like that.
Yeah, good, right. So what's good for your whole is not good for your soul. Baby, we need to put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
That was a good line. And
it was definitely a good line. And I was here for it. And I love how she's holding. Now, I ain't going to say it's going to last all season because we know how the two of them are. But I love how she's holding Alexia accountable. Girl, no. This is not the answer. What are you doing? Now, again, we can't speak for the whole season because you know how the two of them are. They linked up. But I loved how she definitely let her know I'm not cool with this. So that's how the episode. So that's a good place to start. That's how the episode started off. We know that immediately after the reunion last year, Todd filed for divorce from Alexia. And the blogs at the time were saying that Alexia was blindsided. She didn't know it was coming. Now, we do know that the storyline last season was hinting at there being trouble in paradise and things not going too well. But I think because it was coming from Adriana, a lot of people really weren't paying much attention to it because
I was.
Even though I think Adriana is a hater, I still believed what she was saying because it was weird that last season she was looking for a brand new apartment and it didn't seem like he gave her enough time or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, somebody money is funny. Because why are you only giving her 2 months to move all of her stuff out of her apartment, which is a beautiful penthouse apartment, to another apartment, and you're not it just didn't make any sense. So I was like, Adriana, you get on my nerves, and I know you a hater, but I know you telling the truth. I know you. So what's going on with them?
It was that
Well,
party for
I
me
said
last
last
season.
season in my reviews last season, I said he has no intention of living in this apartment. I
Yeah.
said then that was his way of getting rid of her because who goes from, like you said, that is a badass penthouse they were in with the elevator to take the car up to the top.
That
Like
was
that was
so cool
badass.
to me. It's like,
Baby, that they had me at hello. When I saw that on that very first episode of the reboot, like she was in like the first scene of the first episode of the reboot, driving up in that in the Bentley and taking it up to that top floor. I said, bitch. But I said, who goes from that
Exactly.
to you literally, Todd literally was like, I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care. Like I said, he don't have no intention of living there. Because who doesn't care?
it's like what a lot of people said on Twitter. He was quietly like trying to like they were quietly like separating. Because it really didn't make any sense. Because I was just like, yeah, he's not helping you look for an apartment. He's just saying, just get one. It's giving, yeah, girl, someday right up here.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that. So I wasn't shocked to hear about the divorce, but we're gonna get to it. So one thing we know Bravo know how to do is pick up a camera. So literally, Bravo picked up the camera and they filmed Alexia talking to Julia and Marisol. Then we saw Alexia on the phone with Teresa Giudice. Then we saw Alexia talking to the whole cast. And basically, you know, it was the tears, it was the I didn't expect it, it was I couldn't believe he did that. She told the story of how it happened. So I'm gonna tell y'all the story and then I'm gonna shut up and let y'all tell me what y'all think about the story, okay? So they went out to dinner on Friday night. Sat at the bar, they had drinks, they had a great dinner, they went home, they had great sex. The next day, she said she went out with Peter. And when she got home, the whole apartment was empty. She said him and his daughter moved out in front of her other son, in front of what's the other son's name?
Frankie.
Frankie, thank you. In front of Frankie. And she was so hurt and she couldn't believe he did it to her. She couldn't believe that he would do that in front of Frankie. And how dare he? Then she said that they talked on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, she heard from her attorney and he had filed for divorce. Now, I'm going to shut up and y'all tell me what y'all doing with that story.
I believe it. Like, he always gave me like snake oil salesman. Like, he just gave kind of like shady, but like he still seemed like a decent person. I just always feel like Todd's money was funny. I was like, girl, I don't know. Alexia don't make good choices. She don't make good choices. But I do think it is messed up that here you have Frankie that has autism, and Alexia's had explained to us his schedule means everything. Like, and then you're moving out, you're probably not explaining to him where you're going. That would freak me out. Like, I'm just here at the house, and then next thing you know, I see my stepdad and my stepsister packing up, and you're not explaining anything to me. And then I get home, and my mom gets home, and it's like, so he gone. So what we doing? Like, I would be pissed. That's why I'm so confused by her still wanting to be around. Other than I feel like she messing with him to get her bills paid. But I'm like, girl, you betrayed me like that. I couldn't deal with you. Like, I would, because in the back of my mind, I would always be thinking like, oh, you gonna leave me. Like, you're gonna everything's gonna be great. And the next thing you know, I'm gonna come home and my house is gonna be like ransacked. And like, I'm gonna have to start all over. So I couldn't do it.
I agree. I wouldn't be able to
JB, how'd you feel about the story?
I mean, I don't care for Alexia, so it don't bother me too much to see it. What I thought was interesting, because I noticed Bravo filmed that stuff with her in April of 2024, but it took them months to film this damn season. It took them almost 6 months to film this season of Miami, because they didn't film it until late last year. So that was a long time in between. And like I said, I don't feel too much for Alexia, because here's my thing. Alexia talking about, he left her son there. That would have been it for me. You leaving my child? Hell no. And then, when Julia was asking her, so is he good to the boys? She said, no. I was like, so why are you with him? We know he don't like Peter. We've known that for years. He don't like
But
Peter.
I don't think nobody liked Peter. So I feel like
Exactly.
But I mean, like the only one that really matters. I mean, they
It's
both
Frankie.
matter, but it's Frankie because it's like Frankie really don't be bothering nobody, but Peter always. That's why when they did the flashback, when Todd was calling him out, I was like, he's telling y'all the truth. Like Frankie shouldn't be around him smoking weed. Like he needs to be on a schedule. You need to make sure that he can live independently of you to a certain extent because when you go, like, I wouldn't trust Peter with nobody's child or an adult that might be impaired. So I'm like, Todd was telling you the truth. So I never thought when he was going at them that was mean. I was like, I think he's just being honest with y'all because y'all living in delusions. Like, we got to get this together.
I thought it was funny that she called Teresa of all people. I'm like, y'all gonna be in the same situation.
That's her doppelganger.
Somebody in the chat just said the exact same thing. Somebody in the chat said that Todd is the Louis of this show because Teresa gonna be in that same situation. So this is how I feel about it. I'm gonna be honest. I think the story's bullshit. I do, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why. I absolutely believe it can be true. Let's be clear. I do think that Todd got some shit with him, and I do think that last season, we definitely saw the cracks in the foundation. Like, I definitely think it could be true. However, I find the timing to be so interesting that literally he files divorce papers literally as soon as y'all get done filming the reunion. Well, the reunion aired because remember they filmed it, and then it literally as soon as the reunion aired. Because I think Alexia was desperate for her job. She knows she ain't giving us nothing. And then I find it interesting that literally right before y'all start filming for the season, now all of a sudden y'all are having these dangerous liaisons and these we're back together, but we're not back together. Because when she said that when we found out that they literally have been spending weekends together, but they ain't talked about the divorce. I'm sorry, what? Then what the fuck are y'all talking about?
See, I believe it only because Alexia, because I went back when the reboot came around I went back to Peacock and watched all of season 1 up to season 3 to be ready. Because I was like, I do remember this show, but very vaguely. Alexia been going through it since season 1. Like, it's every single season, there is something like traumatic happening to her. And I really feel like somebody put a curse on her, a root or something. Because I said, girl, every year you should not be going through all of this. Like, this is scary. But I believe it only because the divorce papers are like out there, like they're legally divorced. And I just feel like, would you really go through all of this to get legally divorced for? I mean, people do stupid stuff for storylines. But
I didn't know they were already legally. So they're legally divorced.
Oh no, they're they're divorced. Okay. Yeah, they're legally divorced, but she's still messing around with him. That's why everyone's like, girl, what was the point of y'all getting a divorce? And that's why she's afraid to talk about the divorce. Because I think I think that's the part that Marisol's upset about. Because it's like, girl, like, and that's all, like JB said, like, you left my child and you left me, but we still messing around. But it's just like, since watching a season 1, it's like Alexia is that type of person, kind of like Teresa, where she is very like male centered, and like all she cares about is like having that fairy tale love story of like my man, my kids. And we fighting the world together. So I can definitely believe that, like, she not wanting to rock the boat with him. And like I said, I feel like he paying her bills. So I don't think she's gonna push it. Like, she might give him a little something to pay the bills. So I think she's gonna push it.
I definitely feel like he paying bills. Like, I definitely feel like she need the coinage, because that little nail salon ain't driving Bentleys up to the penthouse. I'm sorry.
It ain't. No. Unless she has like, franchises. That's not doing it.
Unless she got a little bit of money from that first husband.
Franchises.
Oh no, she probably did. The cocaine cowboy, yeah. She probably got money stashed somewhere.
Money from that cocaine man.
Yeah, she got money stashed somewhere. But like, But then also Herman had a lot of money too with his magazine company. So maybe Alexia ain't like, I don't think Alexia is dumb. It's just when it comes to men, she be ditzy.
She's just like her sister Teresa.
Yeah, they just be stupid, and I be like, no.
I can't stand either her nor Teresa because they both dumb behind.
That's why I can't hate when it comes to Alexia and Larsa. I can't fully dislike them because even though they're delusional and they're annoying, they stand and they'll stand in their bitchiness. They'll be like, yeah, girl, I'm being a bitch. Like, and you're not gonna make me feel no different about it. And I normally like housewives that are like that. Like, you can't really sway them, and she don't really be feeling bad about it. And I'm like, well, yeah, don't feel bad. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I can't stand her nor Larsa.
You know how I feel about Larsa?
Especially Larsa.
Well, speaking of Larsa, here we go. So then we fast forward to 5 months later. We see Marisol and Alexia meeting up with Lisa. Now, we kind of already talked about what Marisol and Alexia talked about, the tide of it all. But Lisa shows up, and we found out that Lenny's change of life girlfriend, his midlife crisis girlfriend, then dumped him. And they're worried about Lisa wanting to go back to Lenny. So Lisa shows up, and she first said, well, Lenny did try to get back with me, and I do have the kids to think about. But then she said she was just joking. Now, I don't know if she was just joking about Lenny wanting to get back with her or her thinking about going back to Lenny. But she claims she's happy with Jody and she would never go back to Lenny, which I think never is a strong word. I think if Lisa were single right now and didn't have Jody, I think she'd be thinking about it. But I think because she does have Jody, I do think that maybe right now, So how do we feel about Lenny's girlfriend dumping him?
They're actually engaged now.
They got back together.
Yeah, I saw a video of him proposing to her. Like, it was during last. Well, I don't know so here's the thing. I don't know if what they were talking about then, like in the store, like in the episode, was the same video I saw of him like proposing. If that's that, then yeah, then they're they called the engagement off. But I feel like I saw a video of like him getting on one knee like to her again or something. All I know is
Cheryl said they are back together, so they didn't got back together. Okay. I guess he went and bought her a Birkin or something, child. He must have had to go get her together.
I mean, Lenny is like, because a lot of people I've seen, like, especially like on Twitter and Instagram, think Lenny is so attractive, and to a certain extent, I guess. But it's just like, if I was the other girl, I could never like trust him the way he did Lisa. I was just like, you gonna do me worse. The same thing that Simon did to Fallon. I was like, Portia, he gonna be way worse to you, and he was. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want that in my life. But I do agree with you, Really B. If Lisa wasn't with Jody and Lenny was like, hey, I'm trying to rekindle this, she would go back to him. She may do it like on the low, but she would definitely like mess around with him for like the time being until something else came around. But I definitely feel like she would mess with him if she got the opportunity to.
I agree. I think
absolutely.
JB, would I mess with them? No, but Lisa probably would. Nothing like Lenny looks like a toad to me. Like nothing about. I'm like, maybe it's y'all want plastics. Y'all want y'all boobs done. Y'all want some money from him, because other than that, I don't see what Lenny present.
Child, the only thing attractive about Lenny is his bank account. That is it. At least to me, that is it, and that is all, child.
But yeah, heartbeat. I feel like she would, but
yeah.
I feel bad for Jody being with her because Lisa is so self-absorbed and.
Something about Jody ain't right. I got my good eye on Jody. I feel like Jody giving social climber, and he might have an addiction to the ski slope.
Oh, did she drop?
She must have dropped. She'll come back.
But yeah, I do believe that Lisa's definitely gonna go back to Lenny. Well, let me not say she's going back to him. Let me say she would if presented.
She would. Mm-hmm. She would. Here she goes.
Not really like it smell like mothballs.
Now he smell like mothballs. He look like he smell like mothballs.
So it's raining where I'm at, so it might cut out again.
Okay, no problem. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, that's kind of just where I was with it. So we're introduced to, I guess, the storyline that we're going to be dealing with probably the whole damn season. Larsa and Lisa are mad at each other because Larsa is has broken up with Marcus and she feels some kind of way because Lisa and Jody are still hanging out with Marcus, and she feels like that's a betrayal, that she should not be hanging out with Marcus. So first of all, how do we feel about Marcus? And we'll get to child. We got the whole episode to talk about Marcus and Larsa breaking up. But how do we feel about Lisa still hanging out with Marcus? Lisa and Jody hanging out with Marcus.
Larsa, get behind me, okay? I know Larsa is a gutter snipe. Okay, I know she a gutter snipe. I know. But I'm actually like I'm gonna have to let Lisa. Lisa got her at the end, but in this moment, I understand where she's coming from. You see this man talking crazy about me online. You see him like saying wild stuff about me, and you still decide to follow him. And I was at first being like, Larsa, you kind of doing too much, until Alexia said, well, Lisa, you told all of us to unfollow Lenny. Mm-hmm. So if you can tell all of them to unfollow Lenny, then it shouldn't be anything for Larsa to say, hey, I need you to unfollow Marcus, and I need you to tell your boyfriend like that you only know him because of me. Y'all, they not friends like that for real. So right. tell him to like no. And you could tell that Lisa was like, because when Alexia was like, so are you still following him? And she kind of looked dumbfounded because she was like, well, I said, oh girl, because the way that Lisa acted last season, and like you said, JB, she's so like self-absorbed. Like she was on one last season. And I mean, rightfully so, because Lenny was being an ass. But it's like, if you can demand so much from them, Larsa telling you to do this shouldn't be that deep. Like you should just unfollow the man. But I do think she cares as much as she tries to call out Larsa for being like, a social climber. Girl, you are one too, because you care about the Jordan name as well. Because why aren't you unfollowing him? Because he threatening her. And at first, I ain't really believe it till she pulled out them text messages. And I said, well, he threatened. And Lenny was doing the same thing. So like, you should like unfollow that man. Like, but I mean, Larsa, I told y'all, she a gutter snipe. The delivery was bad. The delivery was all bad. But I was like, girl, you made points. You made points, and I understand.
I feel the same way. I feel like I 100% agree with what you just said, right? And especially since we know that when it came to Lenny, she was like, everybody should unfollow Lenny. And I felt, it always pisses me off when people want to quantify it. Well, we were married, girl, it doesn't matter. And especially when I found out, we'll get to that later, but when I found out that Larsa actually testified in court for your ass, like, girl. JB, how you feeling about this now? I know how you feel about Larsa, but
yeah, because I got a little bit of a different opinion. So I'm gonna give Larsa like half of a point. I'm gonna give her a point, but I'm gonna take the point back because I get the point. At first, I was like, "Is it that big of a deal to follow somebody on social media?" But I get it. If Lisa asked you to unfollow Lenny, y'all obliged her. Lisa, you can oblige her, but like Leah said, it's really the fact that these women are social climbers. It's the Jordan name. So I get it, right? But then at the same time, granted, Marcus and Jody may not be real friends, but can't nobody control a grown-ass person and tell them who you can be friends with. Because if you say, oh, I don't want you to be friends with him, I mean, he's a man. We are human. We all can do whatever we want to do. He can still just easily be friends with Marcus behind the scenes. Be like, oh, girl, I ain't talking to him. I don't know nothing about that man. And still be hanging out with him. Just don't post it on social. He ain't posting it on social media. And if you ain't going through his phone, you don't know who he's talking to. So I don't agree with them saying Jody shouldn't talk to him. But Lisa, yeah. But again, Lisa's in her own cloud of delusions, just like Larsa's in her own cloud of delusions, just like Alexia's in her own cloud. They do what they want to do.
The thing about it is I also think Marcus is using that against Larsa. Because Larsa was like, you don't think Marcus is texting me or calling me, telling me what y'all be talking about? And so I think that's one of her main reasons. It's like, girl, you're hanging out with him and you're not telling me, but I get this man is calling me saying I'm hanging out with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That would piss me off. Cause I'm be like, he playing with me. And you gonna play with him too? Why he playing with me? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Cause then I'm gonna be mad at you. And look, and like I said, Larsa a gutter snipe. But that's my girl. Okay. She a gutter snipe. And I do think the way that she handles things is horrible.
Atrocious.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But I was like, you got valid points. I just need you to learn how to communicate better. Cause I was like, you do have, to me, she does have a reason to be upset. Only because for me, it's him bashing her publicly online. And I understand like the breaking up, making up, all of that stuff. But it's the fact that when Alexia said, you told us to all unfollow Lenny, I was like, yeah, you don't get to say, I'm not going to, to me, you don't get to say, I'm not going to unfollow him when you demanded we all unfollow your ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So I was thinking that same point too about Jody and Marcus. I think
I feel like they got the same dealer. So I was just like, girl, that's probably why he won't be friends with him. You know, it is giving social climbing, but I also feel like why do you need to go to the other room for AC? He said, it's good, ain't it? I said, AC ain't that good. No, sir. Nothing. I don't know what you're doing in that.
Right. Somebody in my chat said that last night. Now, my dumb butt was thinking that maybe it was something going on between him and that girl. But somebody else in my chat said the same thing. So I'm going to lean towards, I hear y'all, because somebody in my chat said the same thing.
It's only because I have been in places where like people do it so casually and you would be like, what we do? Like, just in the open? We just doing this, and it just his people, like them friends we do this like recreationally, you know. Sometimes you just need a little something to pick you up. Cause them eyes was bugging after he got out there bed and they was kissing on you. I said, the eyes is dilated. I think something is happening.
Right. And I mean we can get into this in a minute when we get to Larsa telling her story. But that's why Larsa, girl, you knew because he was too casual about it. Marcus was way too casual when they took that picture of him right, and he was doing it like
not the Olympic
out in the open, like out in the open, like he wasn't even pretending. I was like, if he was that casual in the middle of the south of France, out in the open, y'all lived together. I know you saw things. Either you saw him doing it outright, or you saw the remnants, you saw the paraphernalia. You knew that boy, but you was cool with it when y'all was together. See, y'all know how I feel about Mad Day. I don't respect Mad Day. Now, don't get me wrong, Marcus is treating her like some you know what. So I ain't mad at her, but girl, don't sit here and act like you ain't see them. You ain't see the signs. You saw the signs.
Exactly, because Paris wasn't the first time he did that.
Absolutely not, because he was way too casual with it. Do you know how? I mean, I'm not a drug person, but do you know how paranoid I would be if I decided I was going to try something? Do you know how paranoid I would be? Ain't no way in the world I'd just be out in the middle of, just out in public like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
But anyway, so the next scene we see is Julia and Martina. Child, they got a baby.
And two
babies. Right, two babies. Now, congratulations. But far be it for me to question people's motives in wanting to have children, because Lord knows I don't have that. But you and Martina, like Martina keep telling her, girl, we old enough to be somebody's grandmama. You have children, they're grown. Martina wasn't interested in children. It just makes me wonder why? But okay, they've got the two babies. Go ahead, boo.
Word on the curtain. I don't know if it's true though. I don't know if it's true. But allegedly, like the I guess the narrative is that Julia really didn't raise her first two kids for real, because she was like the model and all of that stuff. That a lot of people feel like
this is a second chance for her.
Yeah, and we know what happened, unfortunately, to her son. My only thing is I ain't never liked Julia. Okay, she always been a chop for me. Like, she reminds me of every animal person that I have been with that, like, you think is so kind because they love the animals, but they be so mean and conniving. And I said, I've always had my eye on that lady. I said, I don't like them goat people. There's something about her that I'm just like, I've worked with people like you. Y'all not to be trusted.
I never saw for Julia because her first season, the whole her and Adriana, I thought that the flirting with Adriana was disrespectful, and I just never saw it for her. I just thought, and I'm like, I absolutely believe Martina got a chick on the side somewhere because she's just way too casual about that shit. And Martina Navratilova does not seem like the kind of person that deals with disrespect. So the fact that she just be letting her, I almost feel like Martina is doing with Julia kind of what, what's his name? Crank. Oh shoot. The actor whose wife was on the first season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and he divorced her after that first season.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer and Camille.
Kelsey Grammer. I almost feel like it's like where it was like that was my parting gift for her. Like I left her with a job. I gave her income. I gave her celebrity. You know what I mean? I almost feel like that's what Martina. But the fact that they're still married made me think, well, maybe not. But like that first season, I felt like, baby, Martina about to lead this woman because Martina just seems so blasé to all of it. And so yeah, I feel the same way. Julia, like you said, I think Julia thinks that that's so cute about I love the babies and I love the animals and I've got my farm and child. Girl, you playing.
Now I will say the first 2 seasons I liked Julia, but looking at this season, this episode and what I've heard, I don't think I'm gonna be seeing it for, especially after what Gerdy just did today. When Gerdy
with the text messages, yeah,
those text messages.
Damn, I missed it. Sid, y'all ain't put it in the group chat.
I wasn't even thinking about it.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah, put them in there for me, please, because I didn't see it. Ooh,
yeah. So seeing them text messages today, which I kind of figured that's what it was. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I kind of figured what Gerdy said later in the episode was what it was, because they're talking about Gerdy and this whole, she dropped off the call. I was like, but Julia, you just said you were late, so you got to respect people's time.
As soon as she said she was late, because she tried to minimize it. I mean, I was a few minutes late. Girl, you were late. Thank you, boo. And don't act like you were late and people have other shit to do. Like, we understand that this is important to you, but we're not going to sit here and act like Gerdy isn't going through a lot. We're not going to sit here and act like Gerdy ain't just had 6 surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, lipo. She's still trying to run her business. She's still raising her kids, and she's still trying to keep her husband happy. Girl, she got a lot going on too. And for you to say, well, I was a few minutes late, when she tried to minimize it, I was like, no, you were more than a few minutes late. And then you said that she tried to get back in. So it sounds like she tried to get back on the call and you wouldn't let her back on.
In the text message, it says like, hey, send me the link. And she never sent her the link. So I'm like, you didn't want her to be there to begin with. And here's the thing, Gerdy has always gotten on my nerves, which is crazy to me because normally, because I'm a Capricorn, I normally rock with all the Capricorns. That's why I like Marisol. But Gerdy is so obnoxious. She just do a lot. And I be like, I need a drug. I need a value because you my anxiety, you overstimulating me. But I really do not like the way that they were treating her at the party. Like, it just felt like very nasty. Like, y'all are purposely ignoring her. And then when Julia had the nerve to be like, oh, this is fake. No, you fake. Because I felt like even in that conversation they were having, she wasn't telling the truth. Like, Martina's like, oh, that's warm. What, girl, hush. Like, what we talking about? She said, congratulations. Well, what else you want me to say? I guess she wanted Gerdy to be like, oh, this is so beautiful. But I'm like,
but then even in the text message, it's even in the text message how you said, she said congrats to you after you said basically, bitch,
go find it for yourself. That's my thing. Don't tell me to go find something. I go find it and I say congratulations. I guess she was hoping that she sent like a heartfelt message, but I'm like, you gave attitude, especially in the text messages. She says like, I think Julia says good luck on your surgery. So if she's already dealing with having another surgery, I don't know what the surgery is, but it's like, it's surgery nonetheless. Then why are you like, it was a flippant text. It was rude. I felt the rude energy. So I was just like, yeah, girl, I wouldn't have said, you know what? I probably would have hit a thumbs up. She would have hated me. because like you're not gonna be rude to me. No. So I was just like, you know what, Guerdy, I might be on your side. I said, keep this energy. And I hope she does not apologize. And when it comes to whatever's supposed to happen, was speculated about the drink throwing. If Guerdy didn't say nothing foul and that lady threw a drink at her, I'll be so pissed. I'll be so bad.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest, I feel the same way. Guerdy irritates me. She really does irk me. But I as soon as she said I was a little late getting on the call, and when she tried to get back on, she said because again she tried to minimize it. Well, my hands were full. Girl, what were you were on a Zoom call? Your hands were full doing what?
Exactly.
What were your hands full? Nothing. Girl, if you ain't let that girl back on that damn link. So like you said, it's given you didn't really want her there. You only invited her because you probably had to for production purposes. But when she couldn't make it or when she dropped off, you were good with it. Like it really was. And we'll get to the party later. But so that's that whole storyline with the two of them. But go ahead.
So I felt like this, and tell me if y'all agree with me. So since we saw in the beginning of the episode that Julia was hanging out with the drunk and Alexia.
Don't do that.
Since we saw her hanging out with them, I really feel, and y'all can tell me if y'all agree with this, I feel like now that she's in good with those two who are the quote unquote it girls of this show, she's throwing, because she's been friends with Nicole, Guerdy, and Adriana for the last 3 years. Now that she's cool with those two, I feel like she's throwing her real friends to the side because she has an issue with Adriana now. So that's why
Adriana said that they haven't been cool. Yeah.
So I mixed on it because on one hand, Adriana to me is slightly at fault when it comes to their relationship because I knew they was gonna fall out last season. When Julia started hanging out with Alexia, I was like, oh, Adriana is not gonna be cool with that because you're supposed to be her friend. And I do remember there was like a Page 6 article that came out where they was arguing at the airport, I think after BravoCon.
Yes.
And Adriana was like screaming, and you see how she do it. Like she said, paraphrasing, but she was basically like, you see how that girl do me? Like you see how you gonna be friends with her? So I was just like, oh, Adriana, like she is gonna pull away from her. So I do feel like to a certain extent, Adriana is at fault for that. And Julia to a certain extent too, because it's like, girl, hey,
Jeremy boo.
If you're supposed to be my friend and you see how people treat me and you still want to be friends with them, I'm a side eye you, but I understand it's still like Housewives. But I do agree that it does feel like Julia is switching up because she's now cool with Marisol and Alexia. But I also feel like Nicole was the glue for the newbies.
Mm-hmm.
And now that she's not there, because even at the end, I slightly felt bad for Guerdy because I was like, dang, you do kind of seem out of place. Because normally Nicole is sitting next to her and they get into the mix with like together. Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of like Guerdy has to like stand on her own. But I feel like Julia messed herself up because what's her name? Alexia had a birthday party and the only people that was there was Larsa, Guerdy, the new girl, Stephanie, and of course, Marisol. I said, ooh, how this happened? How did this transpire? So I feel like Julia, and they didn't even like, if it is true that Julia did throw a drink at, I think it was like Bravo Fan Fest, Marisol and Alexia were getting interviewed and what's it called? They said that they didn't agree with what she did. They were like, it was too much. So I feel like Julia gonna be on one, but it's gonna make her like she's gonna isolate herself. Cause I feel like she gonna lose Adriana, who was really like, girl, that was your friend. Like she was down for you, even though I told y'all that lady get on my nerves. She get on my nerves. She's such a hater, and she be desperate. But
I love Adriana.
She really was standing up for.
Adriana be doing the most when
she do, but she was standing up for Julia. Anytime somebody would come at Julia, Adriana had her back. So I do think she switched up on her once she became friends with Marisol and Alexia. And it's just like, yeah, girl. All I know is the farm lady gonna piss me off, and I'm gonna be over it.
Farm lady
in my spirit.
I'm gonna have to use that. The farm lady.
That's the farm lady.
She really gonna piss me off. I just feel it because she doing too much, and I'm like. we ain't even really got like why. And Martina, I ain't never really like Martina, but that's due to like views like off the show.
Her political views.
Yeah, but it was the way that she looked at Guerdy. I said, "Lady, don't do it, don't do it." I was like,
I was kind of wondering, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to go. I try to stay away from that when it comes to the White Housewives, because some of them do give you that. Because like over on Salt Lake City, when it comes to Mary, sometimes I'd be looking at Lisa Barlow, and I'm like,
dude, Lisa Barlow, my girl too.
Lisa Barlow. Oh no.
The funny thing about Salt Lake City is Lisa Barlow, Mary, and Angie. The three of them. When I tell you, I was locked in with the three of them. I said, you know what? We could just have a show with the three of them, and I'll watch it. Okay, they are so chaotic and in such a good way. But it's the way she was looking at her. I ain't like the way that Martina was looking. And then she ignored her. I said, see, I don't need to be putting on my cape. Because Guerdy get on my nerves. But I'm not gonna let them do her dirty. I'm not gonna let it happen.
It's funny because really, I know you said this last night on your live that you don't care for really any of these ladies, and I agree with, and I think that's what it is for me too. I'm not a only person on this show that I think I can say that I've liked since the beginning is Adriana, because Adriana just stands in that bitchiness, like Leah says about Larsa. Adriana stands in it because I was here for her when she used to go at Joanna Krupa because I could not stand Joanna.
When she popped her in the face, I said, you know what? We're not advocating violence. But that lady walked up on her. And I said, you got to do what you got to do. She told you 3 times, get out of my face, and you ain't do it.
It was that one, but she kept calling her Hoana.
She was so
Maybe
mad.
that damn Adriana is a mess. That's what she is, child. But you're right. She does stand in her shit, but she crazy as hell. But I like her music. I do, Chuck. I do like Adriana's music.
I do too.
Okay, so the next scene we have is Larsa.
Oh God.
And her mama.
Do that.
And her crying about Marcus. Now, we kind of already talked about this when she was saying that, he wanted to stay at the club till the club closed, and she sort of warning signs. First of all, he wanted to stay at the club till the club closed because he's 30, and that's what 30-year-olds do. Because when I was 30 years old, I closed the club down too, and I wasn't even a millionaire. So this man has money, and he's 30. So maybe that was your clue that maybe this wasn't the relationship for you, because he's not doing anything that a 30-year-old doesn't do. Exactly. But neither here nor there. Again, the threats are not okay. But again, I still have to sort of side-eye you a little bit, because that's probably him on a coke binge, and you know about those because you was there and you knew he was on. That's how I feel.
What threw me with Larsa was she talking about her kids didn't like him. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Their dad and his daddy, they all work together. They were on the same basketball team together. Like, girl, miss me with that. And then you talk about the lifestyles and match up, ma'am. What do you expect? You date men younger than you. Malik Beasley, which is much younger than you. Then you get with Marcus. Then there's Nunu that you with. They're all around the age of they all somewhere close to the age of your kids. They all out there in the life, Marcus, like you said, really be. He probably on the coke binge, having fun, shutting down the club. Even when I'm in my 30s, but and I don't go to the club, but in my late 20s, early 20s, and all that stuff, I would be in the club until the lights come on and have to tell you to get the hell out. So
they would flick them lights.
Yeah,
DJ was like, "This is the last song, last call, ringing the bell at the bar." Like,
song what Larsa expects.
I think for me, it's like I feel bad for Larsa, but I'm also like, girl, like you said, most of the men that you are dating are in their early 30s or their late 20s, and they're not wanting what you want, or they want it, but they don't want it like right now. Like they don't want the commitment right now. Like the guy she's dating, he's 31 and she's 50, and he talked about proposing to her, and and I'm like, that why? But okay. I just think Larsa is like chasing what she had with Scotty. like in the beginning, like when things were sweet, things were going good. Like she talks about how her mom is very old school. So she probably does have the mindset of like Teresa and Alexia to a certain extent of like, you know, we supposed to be like, you're supposed to grow up, get married, have a bunch of kids, create like a family unit. And maybe getting a divorce was like such a big deal in her family that she feels like, okay, well, I need to find my happily ever after. I don't get why it's with men that young, because I'm definitely like, girl, you could get with a 40-year-old and still, and they probably will be more like apt to do what you want to do. But like people who, like you're saying, like in like, you know, 35 and down, ain't nobody trying to like really settle down nowadays or really commit. And I do agree she knew to a certain extent that he was on, you know, he was on the ski slopes, but maybe it just got real bad after. Because, you know, sometimes it starts, because I used to watch Intervention real heavy. I can't do it now because it be stressing me out. Them people be all that fentanyl stuff. I'd be worried. I'd be like, it's too many people dying. I can't. I need to see recovery. I need to see success stories. But I feel like maybe in the beginning she thought it was like recreationally, like, you know, we just do it when we go to the club, and maybe he kicked it up because, like you said, him doing it out in the open during the Olympics, when you know his cameras everywhere, exactly. It's like, yeah, this a lot. And I got kids. I got children. Because I think her two youngest are still like, maybe one just went to college and the little girl is still living with her, who's still, I think she's about to enter high school. And it's like, yeah, you can't be getting high like that. Can't be doing all of that. I still can't believe he was over there just eating and snorting the stuff. Like
on the rooftop.
I mean, it's a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that's the one day, Lord, if I'm ever blessed. I mean, I don't want to do drugs, but I want that type of money where I could just be that carefree, where I just be doing things, and you know, I don't have to worry about the repercussions. But I was just like, you were really out there just freely, and it's just like nobody else like was concerned. I'm like, y'all, he eating watermelon and on that powder. What we doing?
Right, because it seemed like it went away. I mean, it wasn't until he got that DUI that now all of a sudden he in rehab and all of that. But you wasn't worried about rehab when you wasn't worried about going to jail.
Mm-mm.
So, anything else about Larsa and crying to her mama? Anybody else? Anything else?
Stop doing her like that, JB. Let her give her space. Let her have her moment.
I'm going light on
Guerdy,
it at the end.
Huh?
I said I'm going light on it because I'm gonna drag her at the end.
So Guerdy meets up with Guerdy and Kiki and Adriana link up down to the marina. Kiki got the hookup down to the yacht club. She said she used to date the owner of the yacht club, and so she can get a yacht whenever she feel like it, honey. Guerdy shows up, and that's when Guerdy sort of gives us an update on her health issues. We found out about the surgeries and where she is with her treatment and everything. She's still not cancer-free, although she's in a better place than where we left her last season. And then we see Adriana. We find out she got herself a new man, baby. Adriana keep a man on deck now. She always talk about she lonely, but she keep a man on deck. I don't know. Well, thank you, Edwina. Thank you, boo. But then I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. I got distracted. Said he depressed. Imagine your daddy is Michael Jordan, but you look like Tyler Perry. And I got distracted. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think that's also why, like, when people try to, like, because we know it is the whole Kardashian effect when it comes to the men that are around them, especially the black men. I don't be feeling bad for them because I'm like, you have, like, shout out to the Diva, the Yelp reviews of what goes down when you get attached to them. So it's like, he's like 31, 32. You're an adult. If you want to be with a 50-year-old Larsa, that's your decision. Plus, I didn't know who Marcus was for real, until he got with Larsa. So I can't even say I knew him based off of his daddy's name.
I only knew him because I used to date a sneakerhead, and Marcus has his own like sneaker, something sneaker situation. I don't know, but he makes money in the sneaker world. It's something dealing with him. I don't know.
Is it his daddy's shoes that he's selling?
So what it is he has a company that licensed some of the designs. So like how for lack of a better word, like Travis Scott, right? He has his own design with Nike. When you see a Travis Scott Nike shoe because it has the backward swoosh. So he has a company that does their own designs. So yes, it's through Jordan, but there'll be like a certain shoe and they'll be like, oh, that came from Marcus's company. That's the only reason why I know. Child, that is the only reason why I know. And that's how I know he kind of does have his own money. Now he ain't got his daddy money, but he makes his own money. So they also at the while they're on the yacht, we found out that Kiki broke up with her boyfriend. He had a girlfriend the whole time, honey. But her son just graduated. He's going to college, and she just bought a house. So congratulations to her. What else did they talk about on the yacht? I feel like that was the majority of the conversation. I feel like
Alexia and like what's going on with her relationship.
Yeah, they did talk about Alexia and what's going on with Ty. And Adriana was like, well, I hate that I was right, but I was right, Right, you really don't. Like, she is so glad that she was right, and she wants all of the credit.
See, Lisa should be like what Adriana is, because the way I would stay on Alexia if I were Lisa, the way that Alexia came for her last season, I would never get up off of Alexia. Because girl, you were coming at me because I was crying about my husband, but at least my husband didn't. Well, he blindsided me, but mine ain't as bad as yours because mine was on hot mic camera, and we didn't know about it until after filming. Yours was done. He did it in secret. He moved out of the house on you. So yeah, no. But I will say,
that's
Kiki,
why I said I couldn't believe that Alexia, because I'm like, girl, the way that you came at Lisa last year, girl, you owe Lisa a whole apology after the way you came at her last year. Okay.
Telling her things to do, you should have been taking your own advice.
Okay. But that's what happens when people think that their life is so sweet.
Throwing songs from the
Child. So that was, anything else go down on the boat? I think that was pretty much what went down on the boat.
That was it. Kiki looked good. Them Bravo chicks must be really clearing because their wig was
Kiki definitely looks good.
She looked good in her confessional too.
Oh yeah, that bob.
That little bob was cute. Yeah.
The bob was good.
So we see Alexia meeting up with Larsa. So we get to hear Larsa's side of the story with her, Lisa and Lenny. I feel like we kind of already, not Lisa and Lenny, but Lisa, Jody, and Marcus. I feel like we kind of already covered it, but anybody have anything to add about that particular scene between Alexia and Larsa?
I think I was just shocked when she revealed that she testified.
Yeah.
Because that, I was like, oh, like you really did that? Because we didn't hear anything about that, like on the blogs about it. Mainly what we've been seeing it, or where if you have been reading about them going back and forth and him stalling and all of that stuff. So I do understand her frustrations when it's like, girl, I testified. You got to give me something. But I also agree that both of them are very selfish and very like self-centered. So it's always gonna be like she said, Lisa lives in Lisa land and Larsa lives in Larsa land. Okay. But they also both are like my man, my man, my man, because that was I think that was Kiki's gripe with Larsa, that when she got with Marcus, she was all about Marcus. She like forgot about her friends. And now that she don't got Marcus, it's like you need everybody to like rally around you. But I will give Larsa credit is at least Larsa got money that's her own. That's one of the main things. I can't say the only thing. That's one of the main things that used to frustrate me, and it's probably gonna frustrate me with this season, is the way that Lisa allows men to just take precedence in her life. Like, girl, you should like y'all should not be living together. And then in the preview when they were like, he's on her business calls, I don't like it. I don't like. At least Larsa is like, girl, I'm gonna get my bag. I'm gonna get my bag by myself. Like, I'm gonna sell these feet pics on OS.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna give you, but it's gonna be my money. And I'm like, okay, it's your money. No man can take it. And I feel like that is why Lisa was so hard on her. No, Larsa was so hard on Lisa last season because she was just like, why is always Jody here? Like, why are we always talking about Jody? I said, yeah, because she's doing the same thing over and over. But then again, Lisa always been taken care of.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be dependent of herself. She's always dependent on the man to take care of her.
Yeah, because did she say even when she was like 16 and left her house, she went to her boyfriend's family's house? Yep. Yeah, see, we got to break them patterns.
Well, that's why Lenny did what he did, and that's why he thought he was going to get away with it. Because honestly, the fact that he's now stalling and all of this, it tells me that the plan didn't go the way he thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Because you really thought that you was going to just get Lisa out of that house. That's why the best advice them women gave her was when they were down, what were they, in Palm Springs, and they told her,
get her ass to go home.
They said, you better get your ass back in that house.
But he should have known that he was going to have to give her something. Because it's like y'all been married. I think did she say 15 years?
Yeah.
And she's been a stay-at-home wife. You were going to have to give her money. Like, you never, like, if he was smart, he would have encouraged her to, like, start a business or something. But the fact that you were okay with her just being at the house, you have to pay her some type of alimony. Like, she getting some money from you, sir. So I do agree with the way that he's always like dragging his feet with her is like, yeah, you didn't do this right. Well, for yourself.
He thought by not getting a prenup that he was gonna be, safe, I guess.
I guess that's what he thought, child. But anyway, so it is Jody's birthday party, and Lisa is having a party for Jody, which I think she thought it was her party. It's supposed to be old Hollywood, which nobody was giving me old Hollywood, but I don't know. I'm not a fashionista, so I think some of them were giving me old Hollywood inspired, but nobody was just giving me straight up old Hollywood.
What did Guerdy have on?
Maybe we're gonna get to Miss Guerdy. We're gonna.
It was just.
Well, let's go. Let me go down the list. So I think that Julia was giving me Pretty Woman with the red dress and the pearl necklace. She was giving me Pretty Woman. I think Lisa was trying to give Marilyn Monroe. Guerdy was giving me Maude with that Maude like dress, but she just wasn't giving me the whole look. She wasn't giving me the hair and the makeup, but the dress was cute. I feel like Marisol was giving me Breakfast at Tiffany's. It inspired. Larsa was just giving me black dress after 5, cute black dress after 5. I don't know what the fuck Alexia was doing, but I never know what the hell Alexia got on. But Guerdy, girl, what the fuck?
When her body is beautiful. Like, you can't take that from her. Like, she has a beautiful body, but I didn't notice until I watched the episode again today that she had, like, it was see-through. And I was like,
yeah, that's what they were saying, that you could see her camel toe and her nipples.
It didn't click for me when Kiki said, "Girl, I don't think they had nipples and vagina showing." And I said, "Vagina," and then I went back. I said, "Oh my God, like, girl, this is a see-through cat suit, basically." I said, "Guerdy, ma'am, I mean, you look good. Like, her body is amazing." But I was like, the hair, no, man. I need her.
That's what I couldn't get past.
She lives in Miami.
That wig. Oh my God.
Yes, you live in Miami, and I've been saying this since season 1. Guerdy, if you don't take yourself over to, I don't know, what is it called? Where all the black people be at in Miami? Like where Carisha, JT, T.S. Madison is from, and L. Teddy. Like,
the Pork and Bean Projects.
I get, because I know them girls know how to do it. Every hood got a black girl that can do hair. I was like, girl, if you don't go over there and pluck one of them girls up and start paying them to make wigs for you, because I said, Guerdy, that looks synthetic. And mind you, I got synthetic wigs, okay? I have them. But there's a way you can wear synthetic where it do not look that dry. And I was just like, you should have just came in there bald.
Yeah, I would prefer to with her bald head.
And I hate her confessional. I hate that confessional so bad. I said, who told you to spray paint your head?
God.
What is
Carol
this? Carol
City. Our resident Floridian little baby said Carol City or Miami Gardens. Yeah, all of that.
Thank you. Yes, I know. Everybody probably to a certain extent know how to lay a wig that stay there. I need her to go get one of them girls to do her head. I just pay them, maybe a good $10,000 to get you like possibly 2 good wigs, because you know the hair be expensive nowadays because of inflation.
But she can afford it.
Yeah, just get them to get you like a nice wig that you just throw on and throw off. Because when she walked around that corner, I said, "Ma'am."
I did too. I didn't look at nothing but that wig. I was like, oh my God. It ain't got no
And as
parts.
the night went on, that wig got worse and worse because under those lights between the production lights and all of that, baby, that wig got worse. Look, it got worse and worse. And yes, I know that's not a word.
She's too pretty. She's too pretty. It's the same thing how I feel about Giselle and Shamia. Y'all be too pretty to not know how to dress or to not have good hair on your head. Like,
she's just tacky when it comes to her dress, and she wear them labels with the name plastered off. I will say, Shamia looked cute for the BET Awards.
No, she did not. No, she did not.
She looked cute.
No, she did not. Not with them black gloves. That wig was tired.
She had her dress was cute. Her dress was cute to me.
Now, if she would have took the gloves off and had a better wig, yeah,
I would
have been there for you. We would have been right here. But that wig looked a mess. Them gloves was a fool. And I thought someone said that Lisa Milan and Wendy's Osefu's stylist was dressing her. I don't know if she and her are not cool no more, but she need to get her back. Because the one time it was that Watch What Happens Live when she was in that pink outfit with the shortcut. She looked beautiful. That's because that was that lady that styled her. I don't know if she can't. I need her to afford. I mean, she got money. Jared got money. She can afford a good stylist.
That's what
I think Shamia be trolling us at this point. I think she just wants us to be angry.
She might. Bravo, if y'all listening, bring over Lisa next season. I need Lisa back on Bravo.
She'll probably come back.
I need Lisa Milan back on Bravo since y'all doing away with Dubai.
Child, Lisa ain't leaving. Baby, Lisa got a good life over there in Dubai. She ain't going nowhere.
She really do. She do. Not with the way things is going over here. I wouldn't come over.
I mean, she come over.
I wouldn't come back. Not right now. I wouldn't. Hell.
Rent a house for a couple of months while they film it, and then go back to Dubai. Like what?
She ain't leaving that husband alone in Dubai for a couple of months.
No, the hell she ain't. No, he give like he like to stray away. Okay.
Because she know better.
Dolores supposed to be. I mean, ain't that what Dolores supposed to be doing with Rhode Island? Supposed to be renting a house to film and
now they acting like that was a lie. Because I saw an article on Twitter where they were pretty much saying that like they trying to like be mums the word, like they don't know. They're not trying to confirm it now. Now they saying like she might be there, she might not be there, and I'm like, does it matter? It's Dolores.
It don't matter because Dolores don't bring shit.
That part. So I was like, y'all could just tell us yes or no, and we be cool with it.
Right, because I love Dolores, but Dolores really don't bring nothing. She really doesn't.
But
right, and she's actually gotten work. Like she used to at least give a little something. She's actually giving absolutely nothing now. I mean, she is truly dialing it in. I think she's relying on Paulie and his lifestyle to take care of her. Like, even last season when she went to go work for him, like, ma'am, you his office manager? Really? That's what you're doing now? Girl.
The dumbest storyline.
You don't went from being your ex-husband's office manager to his, like, girl, if you don't, Dolores, go sit down. Right. So we get to the party. Like I said, everybody's there. And when Larsa gets there, well, no, before Larsa gets there, we have the whole Martina, Julia, Guerdy of it all. And we've kind of already talked about it, but this is where Guerdy gives her side of the story, where she was like, I had a call to take. I tried to get back on the call. She wouldn't let me back on the call. And then when I talked to her, she basically was like, well, I already gave the announcement to the girls, so you just have to find out when you find out. And she said, I'm not crazy. Something's going on, and I don't know what I did. Like, somehow I'm on the outs, and I don't know how I got there. And what I was saying last night, this before I found out about these text messages, but what I said on my review last night was, Julia, you must have already had an issue with Guerdy because this seems so silly and so stupid. Like, this just seemed like either you're desperate for a storyline or you already had an issue, because her not being on the call because she had another call to take and you turning it into this whole situation, even got Martina with this stank ass attitude. I feel like either it's more to the story or you just turned this into a bigger deal than what it really was. I don't know. What y'all think?
I agree.
I think she purposely, like you said before, or one of y'all said this before, I think she purposely is making it an issue to have a storyline. Because I'm like, I don't think she really wants to showcase the kids. Because to me, that's the storyline. You being
Right.
a new mother with two kids that you have to like learn and everything. And maybe that is why she's harping on this. Because to me, it's not that big of a deal. Like, and when you read the text messages, it does seem like Guerdy was like, hey, send me the link. I got kicked off. And then basically Julia was like Guerdy said, you want me to go fetch the information because now that it's public, I'm supposed to like she's making it an issue when it's like this don't have to be an issue. Like you want it to be one. Because even with her being like, I hate when people are so fake, and I'm like, I mean, she just said hi to you. Do you want her to just ignore you? Because
Right.
to Guerdy, y'all are cool. Like she said,
Right.
congrats, and you were like, thank you. So she don't know that you got a problem. That's your fault. Like that's the part that's kind of like weird to me. Is like, yeah, girl, you just want a problem where there really isn't a problem.
Now, what I am wondering, which because the text message, it don't seem like it ain't nothing big. It ain't a big deal to be upset about. So I'm wondering if something happened off season that Julia is not saying to us, because it's something deeper there. Because it can't just be these text
That's why I
messages.
said it's got to be more to it than what's being said, and maybe it's going to get deeper as the season goes on, and we'll get more insight. Because, girl, if that's all it is, then I need you to go sit down somewhere because that's way too.
To me, I just feel like because Nicole isn't there, the group's just falling apart. That's how it feels to me. Like she was the glue for them to be friends in a sense, or to be a clique. Well, I won't call them a clique, but like the newbies together. Because when they flash back to when Guerdy and like admits that she has cancer last season, it's
Oh,
Adriana, Julia, Nicole, and her. And I feel like Nicole was the one that was like keeping them together because I don't ever really remember Guerdy and Julia like hanging out
mhm.
beyond the show, but you always saw Guerdy and Nicole kicking it, or when they would go to like the club, Guerdy would be with Nicole, and then the rest of the ladies like Larsa, Lisa, Kiki, and all of them. But you never, and even Adriana would be with them, but you never really
Mhm.
saw Guerdy and Julia hanging out. And I think that her and Julia never really had a friendship like that. So to me, I feel like that's why she seems Julia seems comfortable arguing with her because it's like I really don't have a connection with you. Like we don't, and it's kind of weird because it's like that's who she sat down with to talk about like her cancer and everything. But I just feel like she feels comfortable coming at Guerdy because they don't really have a relationship beyond the show for real.
Mhm.
Because this,
I think I think they bonded over the cancer thing, but like you said, I think that was it. I think that's she reached out to Martina when she got her cancer diagnosis. But you're right, I don't think they were close friends prior to that. Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't think she wants to fight with Adriana, even though it's coming. Because I saw a clip where Adriana was cussing her out, and I said, "Oh, can't
Oh
wait to see
yeah.
that." But and I don't think she's cool, like you said. She with the cool girls with Marisol and Alexia. She already done beef with Larsa, and I don't think she be ready for Larsa because Larsa gonna say what she want to say. So I don't think she really wants to argue with Larsa. It's kind of not a point to argue with Kiki. Like when she tried to argue, that's why I really didn't like Julia when she argued with Kiki when she called that lady a parrot, and I said, don't do that, don't do that. It's just I feel like Guerdy is just the target for her because it's like who else do I really want to have beef with, or who else do I feel like I can take in a beef? Maybe that's what it is. Like I can take her,
Mhm.
and I don't. Maybe she don't think it's gonna get that deep, or maybe she
Maybe.
wanted to get that deep and she not scared of her. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. So then Larsa shows up and everybody is telling Larsa and Lisa, y'all need to just talk. We hate that y'all are arguing. Y'all just need to clear the air. Y'all need to just talk. Y'all need to just talk. So Lisa and Larsa sit down to talk, and like you said, when two narcissists argue, like what are you gonna do about it? Lisa sees it from her perspective. Larsa sees it from her perspective. They argue. Lisa calls Larsa a bitch. Larsa pretends to leave. Lisa goes and changes into her second outfit because again, she thought it was her party. She comes back out. Larsa comes back. They argue again. She calls Larsa a bitch again and then puts her out and tells her to leave. And that is what we see is Larsa leaving out. Um, what I thought was interesting that came up in this argument was, and I do believe this, when Lisa said, girl, that first breakup was fake. I believe it. I believe that that first breakup was staged for the paparazzi. Again, desperate for attention, desperate for a storyline. I do think that first breakup wasn't a real breakup, and I think that was Lisa throwing it out there, talking about some girl. I left a real party for your fake breakup. Like, how am I supposed to know it was a real breakup or a fake breakup? I do think that Larsa be pulling stunts. I do, but that doesn't change that ultimately, if she is your friend and you met this person through her, and all she's asking is because this is not only is it an ex-boyfriend, but he is unstable. He is threatening me. And for Lisa to be like, girl, I didn't know you called me. Girl, I didn't get that text. Ain't that Lisa's line? Ain't that always her line? But go ahead,
well,
JB.
Alexia ended up saying that she don't call people.
Yeah, they do say that, and I do believe them when it comes to that. Like I said, Lisa, but I think a good majority of these women are the same, and I think that's why they have issues with each other. It's them all looking in the mirror at each other, like the same stuff that Larsa is saying to Lisa, and the same stuff that Lisa is saying to Larsa. Y'all are saying the same exact thing to each other. You're just saying it in different ways to each other. Y'all are literally saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. And y'all get mad at each other because you're calling each other out for the exact same things. It's like, okay, like Lisa, some things that she was saying, I was like, okay, I get where you coming from. And some things that Larsa was saying, I was like, okay, I kind of get you. But when she said, well, what if I go be friends with Lenny and his girlfriend? I would have backhanded that bitch. I would have like, bitch, you gonna do what? Go be friends with who? No, especially like I'll never forget when Lisa said, and she looked her teeth at me.
Like, when they was in the club. That's because that lady was high as hell. That like I saw that video. I say Lenny and her are on cloud 45. They are hot. Like that's why she did all of that. I was more like I said, Larsa a gutter snipe. You know, Larsa is a gutter snipe. But I was with Larsa, especially when Alexia confirms that Lisa don't never be calling anybody. Because Lisa kept saying, well, why didn't you call me? And Larsa was like, I did call you. You didn't pick up. Like, you're not picking up. I tried to communicate with you. You're not trying to talk to me back. Like, what we doing? But she was wrong for calling that lady the B word in her house. Mm-hmm. It was like, that's a bit like Larsa. Because it's like Larsa started off at 100.
She do.
And then she tried to work her way down. And I'm like, no, Larsa, we got to start at 1 and then work our way up. Because she was wrong for calling her that. But then when she was like, girl, why? Like, I really think it is. Because I see something in Jody. And I feel like Larsa, she sees something in Lisa. And I feel like she thinks that Jody is contributing to it. Because when her and Jody were trying to have that conversation, Jody already looked like he won't there. Because he was like, I didn't see the stuff that, because she was like, what did you see what Marcus said? And he was like, no. And I said,
no,
Jody,
I didn't see it. No, right.
You saw
was that before or after he went to go check on the air conditioning with that lady?
It was before. And then while Lisa was changing, then he like left when they were sitting down at the when they were all sitting down in the couch area. That's when they went to the air condition. And I feel like Lisa's mad because she was there. Not Lisa. Larsa is mad because she was there for Lisa with all the Lenny things. Because I remember last year she kept saying, we're always on the phone talking about Lenny. And I feel like Larsa feels like, girl, I'm just asking you to do this one thing for me. And I've testified for you. I've done all this stuff. But her delivery was trash. It was bad. So I don't fault Lisa for being like, girl, get out of my house.
Exactly.
Get out of my house. Like, you're not going to keep calling me out my name in my house. But I also think when Marisol is telling you, girl, I think you had a lot to drink, you probably been drinking. Because one thing I give Marisol, she can handle her liquor. But if Marisol is telling you, girl, ma'am, you up here, you need to take it down, like just a little notch. And I didn't like how they kept telling her she was mean for kicking her out the house. But I'm like, she calling her out her name, y'all. Like, I'd have kicked you out my house. But maybe
not once but twice. Like, she did it, came back, and then did it again.
That's also why I like Larsa. She called it. She said it once. She sat down. She said it again, and then she was like, "I'm leaving." I was like, "Larsa, you getting kicked out? You not leaving, ma'am?" Like, she won, but like you kind of won too a little bit because you did call out her name like 4 or 5 times.
It was calling me a bitch in my house, and then saying you can't control the man whose dick you suck at night.
That part, that one was a lie. That one was a lie. That one was a lie.
When she said, I said, oh, Larsa.
You can't control me.
I said, I got to give you that one. That was a good one.
I was like, that would have been a moment I said, you know what, bitch? Pack your shit up. Whatever food you have, if you were eating something, take that shit to go because you got to get the fuck about my house because fuck.
And this how you know that Lisa was drunk because Lisa tried to actually justify that. I don't suck his dick every night. Girl, why are you entertaining that statement?
Exactly. I want to be her. No.
I mean, I feel like Lisa is probably doing whatever she can to keep Jody. Like, and I know she happy that them kids be at Lenny's house. So she could be at, because she cannot control them kids. Which I'm kind of like, I don't know, Larsa, if she can't control her kids, I don't know why you think she can control a grown man.
Because them kids want her.
That's true.
Especially that boy Logan. That little boy is like he looked just like his daddy.
That whole scene of them, like flashback scene, is great birth control. Because I said, girl, no, ma'am. No, I was like, all this screaming. I was like, this is a lot. And and I feel like Lisa was lying in her confessional when she was like, you know, I'm always in my kids, like I'm always with them. And I said, you are happy that your house is quiet. Like you're happy that your house is quiet. And that's okay.
Didn't Lisa have 2 nannies? Like, didn't she have 2 nannies before? Girl.
Lisa, that's the thing. I mean, she, like I said, Larsa a gutter snipe. She was wrong. But I think, like Alexia, when Alexia said, girl, Lisa never picks up, like she don't call nobody. It's just like, well, girl, you expecting a lot from everybody, but it don't seem like you be doing other stuff for people. So,
I mean, when it comes to friendships, you know your friends. You know which friend is going to call you and check on you, and you know which friend is going to be, okay, I'm the one that's always calling you, texting you. You know that when it comes to your friends. So why would you expect anything? Like, and if they all say the same thing about Lisa don't call us, then don't be mad when she don't call you because that's who she is.
But they also know how Larsa get down because Marisol did say, girl, you know she vindictive. I think was it Vin? No, I think she said because Lisa, when they were sitting down, I think she said she's nasty or something. Mm-hmm. And then Marisol was like, girl, we notice how she get down. So I'm also kind of like, Lisa, you know how your friend get. And you knew this was going to piss her off, even though I don't think she should be talking to you like that. But you should have just unfollowed that man quietly, you know? Because Marcus probably don't even know who Jody is for real like that. Like I said, I feel like they got the same dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Marcus don't care nothing about Jody ass. But see, that's why, I mean, I feel like the Lisa thing is very much how I feel about the whole Quad thing. I'm so sick of y'all talking about how Quad don't call y'all. Quad don't like y'all. Y'all are co-workers to Quad. I'm like, if I gotta sit through another season of these women crying about how Quad don't call them when they not filming, I don't know how many different ways Quad gotta let y'all know that y'all are co-workers to her. She gonna work with y'all. She gonna show up to the party. She gonna be the life of the party. She is gonna turn it up when the cameras are there. And when the finale is over and y'all have filmed the reunion, baby, she is going back to her real life with her real friends. And I don't know how many different ways she got to tell y'all that. And if I got to sit through another season of y'all crying about it, I am done. And I feel the same way with Lisa. At the end of the day, Lisa shows y'all how she really feel about y'all when the cameras are not around. And I understand that her and Larsa are friends in real life, or at least they call themselves friends in real life. But we all got that friend that disappears when they got a man. Child, we all got that friend.
I think it comes from but I feel like the bad part, and this I think it's the same thing with Quad, is then they be expecting certain things out of, like, if for me sometimes I feel like it goes both ways. Like, yes, at some points they should realize, like, girl, Quad is not, like, she's not your friend, she your coworker. But then I look at Quad and I be like, you be expecting things from them that you think would happen in a friendship. Same thing with Lisa. You expect them to all rally behind you and be there for you. But if you don't reciprocate it, then why do you expect that? So I feel like it is both sides. Like, y'all can't expect this from her. She can't really expect it from y'all. But then that's why we got a TV show. Okay, y'all gonna argue about these things.
That's what annoys me with all of them. With both, like with
and
Quad.
I agree because Quad does expect things from them. So I do agree with that. I agree because Quad, you will sit here and you will cry a river about how the women did this and the women did that, and I'm like, but girl.
And they bend behind you with Dr. G and Letitia. And then when you get off season, we see you with Yandy, we see you with Portia, we see with everybody else in Atlanta, but these women. Same with Lisa. Like I don't follow none.
No, Lisa hangs out with them, but it's kind of like what Larsa says. Like it's only when it's for parties. Like I feel like to a certain extent, she's more of like a party friend. Like she's a social friend. Whereas we know Marisol and Alexia, they locked in. Okay, they locked in.
Charles Oakley as your.
So Marisol and Alexia are locked in. I think Kiki and Larsa hang out beyond the show as well. Mm-hmm. We know Guerdy and Nicole hang out.
Yeah.
And it's like Adriana and Julia at one time were doing that. But I think Adriana now kind of kicks it with Guerdy and them. So it's like people do hang out and Lisa's kind of there, for certain occasions. So and it's gonna be interesting because Stephanie, the new girl, doesn't come in until episode 4. They released the synopsis for the first 4 episodes, and I was like, why she come in episode 4?
It's giving Anna Marie again.
No,
not how they introducing her.
Yeah, but Anna Marie was late. She was late in the game. She was way. I think we didn't get to see her till like episode 9.
Yeah, it was late
or 8. At least with Stephanie, it's episode 4. It's like it's episode 4.
The housewife is introduced because they did even with Portia with her first season, but Portia came in late because of Kim.
Yeah.
Portia came in late because of Kim. Because even with what was that girl's name from Beverly Hills that was the Edwards girl. She came in. She was on Erica's. Her and Erica came in the first. They came in together.
Oh, the lady with the glasses.
I can't remember if she had glasses or not. She was married to a black man, the basketball player, Catherine Edwards.
I forgot who that is. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Catherine Edwards came in. Catherine Edwards came in towards like episode 5 or 6 of Beverly Hills when it was Erica's first season. They came in together, and she only lasted 1 season, but she literally came in. Episodes had passed by the time Catherine came to the season, and like you said, most people don't remember.
I do that. That's a new name. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up and see what she
don't remember like. Catherine, but I remember Catherine because she was in the promo, like everything promo for that season of Beverly Hills. She was there with Erica. But we met Erica in the first episode, but we didn't meet Catherine until I think it was like episode 5. So I don't know why they're doing this with Stephanie.
Oh, I do remember her. Okay. I do remember her, but like she
wasn't memorable.
No, she was not. She really wasn't. But I like seeing her picture, I do remember her.
So yeah, it's interesting that they're doing that with Stephanie. And from what I've saw and heard that Stephanie, which is so interesting because I saw Alexia do a video on TikTok the other day where she was just calling the ladies, telling them good night. And she called Stephanie. And it seemed like they were in a good space with each other.
No, that's what I'm saying. For Alexia's birthday, because she shares the same birthday as my sister, it was Guerdy, Alexia, well, they were at her birthday. Guerdy, Stephanie, Larsa, and Marisol were at her birthday. So, like, even though they're going to have beef, I think eventually they come to some type of understanding because they've been hanging out, and Alexia even was like, Stephanie come with the drama, but she cool.
Like, look like she got money too.
Oh no, she got money. She got money.
Oh, she got money. Yeah.
Yeah. She like Stephanie, I am interested to see how different she's going to be from Nicole. Because right now, when you kind of put them together, they kind of even look similar to me. Mm-hmm. Like, and they look like they're going to have this, like she has the same energy Nicole had for Alexia. But I wonder what's going to be the reason why Alexia likes her instead of the way that Alexia was treating Nicole.
Alexia was jealous of Nicole because Nicole has the life that Alexia wants.
Yeah.
Even though Nicole is not married to Anthony, they've been together. They build stuff together. You know, they build wealth together. And Alexia ain't never had that. She didn't have it with that first husband, the cocaine dealer, the drug dealer. She thought she had it with Herman, but Herman was gay. And then Todd
money funny.
Todd is a scam, I think. So I think that's what Alexia's issue always was with Nicole, especially that season when Nicole slapped that black card down for that session that they did.
Baby, when she threw that black card on the table,
I didn't like it, but I said at that time I wasn't seeing Nicole, but I had to give her props. I said, "That's how you know you got money.
That's when you clear a bitch. That's how you clear a bitch."
She was like, "Yeah, I can pay him for his time." I said, "Oh, she ate y'all up with that."
Exactly, she sunned you because how many people got a black card?
She ate y'all up with that, but that's the thing. Stephanie got the same amount of money. Maybe it's because of intellect. Because, like, I don't think Stephanie is a doctor. Maybe they were also intimidated by the fact that she was a doctor as well. I don't know. I just want to see what makes them get to the point where they're, like, cool with one another.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it. I'm curious to see how it starts and how we get to it.
It'll be interesting to see.
I'm going to give her a shot. Because when I heard that... It
definitely will be interesting to see where we end up.
Because I think when I heard that they tapped, because when they were filming, they were testing a lot of other women. They tested like 3 women, I think, but they ended up going with Stephanie. And then when I heard more about Stephanie, that she was Anthony's ex, I was like, that's so weird. Like, what if Nicole had come back this season where y'all
won't be anticipating
some drama? I feel like y'all were anticipating some drama with Nicole and this woman. And I think that's part of the reason why Nicole. I feel like Nicole probably found out what production was doing. And she was like, you know what? I just had my baby. I'm having postpartum, anxiety. Let me take a step back.
Excuse me.
And not deal with the show this season and give them a limited capacity.
Because we know Nicole don't have to work. So okay.
The girl was on The View a few months ago.
Her little beauty company.
Yeah, she was on The View.
She'll probably come back. I can see her coming back. If this is season 7, I can at least see her coming back maybe season 9. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if she'd be totally ready to come back season 8. Like, maybe she just needs like 2 years off. Because the fact that she was even like in the super trailer, I was like, okay, girl, they still want you around. Like, you maybe just told them, I just need a moment. And they probably going to bring you back. Because it also doesn't seem like Stephanie want to fight with Nicole either. Like, Stephanie kind of like, that's my past. Like, I don't really care about that man. So, I'm interested. At first, I thought that Carmen Carrera, I think that's how you say her name, was going to be on the show. But I was like, I don't know if Housewives is ready for that. Ready for them to have that. But I hope she's in the background. Because she's been at all their events.
Yeah, Nicole is kind of giving me what I think Candace is doing with Potomac as well. I think Candace will eventually come back for Potomac. I mean,
probably.
Honestly, you know what? Let me say this because I was gonna say I hope she come back, but I hope she don't. Especially with them bringing that thirsty lady back.
That part.
That
part. Lord.
I ain't looking forward to seeing. Oh, Jesus, be offense that lady. That lady
is only a friend of the show, y'all. Calm down. She is not.
No.
I don't see it for her, but I'm willing to give her a chance. It's the fan base.
I was about to say it's them fans.
It's the fans. Like it's like y'all. They already was trying to argue. Someone was trying to argue with me on Twitter when I gave my opinion, and I was like, "It's 8:00 in the morning. Like it's too early for you to be this annoying."
That's what it was.
You did not have to respond to
it. I feel the same way about. I feel the same way about Candace fans. I'm like,
I mean, I can get you that. It do go both ways.
Candace exhausts me, and her fans exhaust me. And let's be clear, I'm not a Monique stan or anything like that, but it just.
No, so what happened? Why I said that about Monique? Because somebody because I was on one of the blogs on Instagram, and I said, y'all, because everybody's like, oh, Monique gonna bring the ratings. I said, what ratings is Monique gonna bring? They were like, well, when she left Potomac, the ratings went down. I was like, she also had a show on OWN that didn't get good ratings, but she wasn't the lead of that show. I said, the fuck she wasn't. Carlos built that show around her.
Absolutely
That
was the lead of that show. Like, stop it.
He was the star of that show. They were like, somebody like, you're lying. I'm like,
not you
on the
the show was built around her. The show was built around her. Like, y'all.
Everybody
Lord.
And then they gonna
like the fans. It's like it's okay to have your favorite, but I just need y'all to use some. I really need y'all to still use some critical thinking. Like it's frustrating to me.
And then they were like, well, OWN don't get ratings like that. I said, Love and Marriage Huntsville they've gotten at least 500,000 views. Love and Marriage DC was not getting that. They were getting less than that.
I just don't like how people take it so seriously. I was like, we don't know these people. Like, you're not about to fight me about my opinion. The same way when I was reviewing what's it called? New Jersey. I was like, I'm not gonna fight you about my opinion. Like I was like, you can say yours in the comments, which is cool. I mean, as long as you being respectful, if you have a different opinion than mine, I don't care. But you're not about to sit here and just argue. Like, we're not arguing about this. And I don't care that much. Like, I make the video and I go to bed. Like,
me too. It was Teresa's fans. They don't listen to reason. They think Teresa, and I think it
wasn't even Teresa. It was Melissa fans in my thing, because I was like, Melissa be doing stuff too, y'all. Like, they were like, no, she. I was like, no, they both be doing stuff.
They do.
They both be getting
They both do stuff. Exactly.
It's not just Teresa. Melissa be doing stuff. Teresa be doing stuff. And they was like, no. I was like, yes, she does. Like, honestly, I've always been mad at Melissa, because season 6 could have been her season. But she didn't want to do what she had to do. I said, we could have had a show with them psychotic twins.
Oh my God.
And Amber, that could have been a show.
That was the worst season to me.
No, it was not. Okay.
Well, it's worse for me. It was worse for me because Amber Marchese and that piece of shit husband of hers.
Oh no, her husband is horrible. They some horrible people. But
I don't know who cast them and why they cast them, but Amber.
But that was Melissa's opportunity to distribute her show. And I was like, you fumbled the bag, girl. Like, that was your opportunity to take this show and run with it.
Amber gave it to them on the silver platter. Like, y'all could have drawn Amber and them ghetto ass twins.
They was ghetto. That fight at the Halloween party. I was like, y'all is ghetto. I was like, y'all be talking about the black people. Said, I ain't never been to no Halloween party and people fighting like this.
Mm-mm.
I didn't see it, so that's why I had nothing.
It was a good season.
I didn't start watching New Jersey until like maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago, and I went back to start watching it from the beginning, and I got to like season 3 and kind of stopped.
Just watch season 6. Season 6 is, I think, is this the season where it was before? No, it was after Teresa went or before Teresa went to jail.
It was after Teresa got out of jail.
So Teresa wasn't doing much. She was kind of playing it back. And when I tell you, if you just need to watch something that's just chaotic, it's just messy, season 6 is it. Because they was talking about somebody sleeping with the twins' mother. No, one of the twins' husbands sleeping with the twin. Yes.
It was
so, what? It's so messy. It is so chaotic. Like, it does, like that. I think that's why I like it, because I was like, this is just chaos.
And then the twins were annoying too. Their voices. Oh God,
Amber was horrible. Her husband was horrible. Joe wanted to fight her husband. The twins. It's good. I think Dina ended up quitting, like, partly throughout. Did she quit in between the show? No, that was it. I think that was a different season. Her last. That was Dina's. Yeah, she was over it. But if you just need like something to watch in the background, put on season 6. Yeah, it was like, because all you'll do is just be like, oh my gosh, like, y'all really tripping. That Halloween party was so good.
It was a mess.
I might have to check it out this summer during the summer, child.
It was so ghetto.
Well, we get ready to get up out of here. That was the season. That was the season. That was the episode. So let us know what you got going on, Leology.
Nothing much other than I'm reviewing Real Housewives of Miami, Atlanta, and I might, if I can find Ocean Gate, The newest documentary just dropped on Netflix. I might be reviewing that, but I'm also trying to get someone to give me their HBO, account so I can see the one that's on HBO. But we're gonna be talking about that too.
What is this?
The Ocean Gate, the submersible. They just released
okay.
They released a really good documentary on HBO Max. I saw like a 10-minute clip of it on TikTok, and I know one of my cousins got an HBO account, so I'm about to go talk to one of them. But I'm probably gonna review that. And Netflix, I think it was either today or yesterday, they just dropped their version of the documentary, and a lot of people said it was really good.
Okay.
All right. JB, what you got going on, babes?
Dang. I get away from Scotty but let's see what I got coming up. So y'all, I lied to y'all about Divorce Sisters. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm sorry.
JB.
I lied to y'all.
I saw the trailer. I said this is getting very.
Baby, I lied to you. I
lied
to y'all about that. I just cannot get back on the Tyler Perry train. I'm so sorry. I ain't doing it. So really be gonna be doing
just leaving me out here. Okay, that's fine.
Well, that's fine. Let me say this. Because you said it wasn't that bad, but I know me when it comes to Tyler Perry, like I'm gonna eventually get irritated, and I don't want to suspend reality to watch his shows. Like you got to suspend reality.
Listen, I told my people, I think they said the first, I think it's 8 episodes or something like that. I said I'm gonna try to hang in there because, like I said, minus that one person,
and I saw that scene you were talking about.
Name. Yeah, that minus that. The first episode, I mean, was it great? No. Was it horrible? No. But the first couple of episodes of Sisters wasn't, for the exception of Danny. Danny always got on my nerves because excuse me, I always felt like Danny did too much. Like I was like, me and Danny would never be friends because she does way too much. But for the exception of that, I was like, okay, it was decent. But then, like you said, then it just got. So I was like, I'm gonna see how much of this I can get y'all, but it wasn't horrible.
Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna watch.
But I respect it because you said you weren't gonna do it, so I understand.
So yeah, what I'll do is I'll watch the first episode. If it don't irritate me, then maybe
it's gonna irritate you because you've already made up your mind that it's gonna irritate you.
I'm gonna go in there. I'm probably gonna pop an edible and watch it, and hopefully that'll help me. But other than that, y'all know I'm doing Real Housewives of Miami. We're doing this panel. Atlanta is wrapping up. Praise the good Lord in heaven. Atlanta is wrapping up. And then y'all know OC premieres next month in July, so I'll be doing that. And the Never Ever Mets that ends this week, right? Really?
I don't know if this is the last week or if next week is the last week, but it's definitely at the end.
So yeah, y'all know we're wrapping up the Never Ever Mets, and I think that's all I got because I don't have. It's nothing really on.
And Beyond the Gates,
Beyond the Gates. We're doing the Beyond the Gates panel. So y'all know I won't be here this week, and I probably won't be here next week because my uncle's funeral is next weekend. But I'll let you know. And then that's really all I got. I know Leo watches The Secret Wives and Mormon Wives. Yeah, I haven't finished. I finished season 1. But I ain't watched season 2 yet, so I keep saying I want to talk about the Mormon Wives, but
the reunion comes out on July the 1st.
Yeah, I know. They filmed a reunion. One of the girls won their one.
Yeah, Demi, which I don't think is going to be good because the person who became the villain, she's not going to be there. So I don't know how they're going to talk about the issues, and the person that everyone had issues with is not going to be there. But they filmed a reunion. I will say season 1 to me was better than season 2.
Okay.
But it's easier to watch. I guess the drama ain't that deep because it's like, I don't know. I think because it's their second season, I kind of just got used to everybody. I think you might like it. You know what you should do? Watch the reunion and see if you okay with the drama at the reunion and then come back to it. Because I don't even think the reunion is going to be like 2 parts. I think it's just going to be like a special.
Okay.
They just said airs on July the 1st.
Oh, so it might be just a special.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's all I got, you guys. The summer, y'all know, it's slim pickings. Ain't nothing really around to review during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I have I did pick up Divorce Sisters. We'll see where we go with that. Real Housewives of Miami, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Never Ever Meets was just wrapping up, and Beyond the Gates, which is pretty much what I have going on. I did pick up Next Generation NYC. The first episode, I did want to talk about it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but I did want to talk about that nasty girl and them hands.
I was about to say that's what turned me off. A bitch saying she don't wash her hands, baby. Don't touch me. I was with Riley.
But
the way they wear her ass out though, I was here for it. This second episode was decent, but I see where we're going with it. There's a whole like housewives kids versus the non-housewife kids situation is heating up. And let me tell you something, the low-key person that I think is gonna walk away as the fan favorite is Adriana, Kim's daughter. She is actually you can definitely tell that she spent her whole life doing reality TV because she is definitely bringing it, but she's not doing too much as of right now. She's definitely making her presence known. She's playing her position in this ensemble cast, but she's not doing too much, not yet. So I'm actually kind of enjoying it.
Well, did you hear that it wasn't supposed to have housewives kids on there?
Yeah,
right, and that's why the kids, and right, and that's why that's why they got an attitude about it, right? Especially once they added, because Brooks and Riley were the two that were originally supposed to be on there.
Okay,
well, not originally, but they were the first two they added. But then they added Gia and Adriana. So when they added Gia and Adriana, then it became more housewives kids than other people, and then that's when they had an attitude. So that sort of came up in this episode too, because like they don't even know who Gia is.
Like that's just, I think it's just kind of weird. I'm like, why y'all don't know them not to like them?
It's Brooks for me,
because it's that whole reality TV snob. Because these are like literally blue bloods. Like these are like real. I grew up upper. Like these are real trust fund babies. These are real. I went to the best schools. Like these are these kids. So yeah, they kind of looking at them like you're a what?
Like why are you here? Okay, that makes sense. Because I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, well, why wouldn't they? Like, would they have an issue with them if they're not really doing anything to anyone? And it doesn't seem, based off the clips that I've seen, they've been like rude or anything.
How'd they pick Brooks about housewife kids?
And it's funny because I'm actually getting a different perspective on Brooks. Like he's like on Salt Lake City comes off as like this, this bratty, bratty ass, but he's actually coming off a little different. I'm kind of getting and let me take back what I said. Let me rewind. These aren't like, all of these are not like blue bloods, but these are like one guy is a crypto, he like trades crypto, but his dad is like this big time investment banker. He grew up, he's the one that grew up like, that's the one that has the problem with them. He grew up like the rich kid. There's another guy on there. Huh?
And Ava Dash on there too?
Mm-hmm. Ava Dash is on there. So that's why I said, let me take it back. Like all of them aren't like the blue bloods. But then there's this other kid who does like OnlyFans, but he's like an influencer making all of this money. I think this show was supposed to be like people like that young generation that's making money non-traditionally. Because they have another girl in there. She's an influencer that's making like ridiculous amounts of money doing social media, the crypto trader. So I think the concept was supposed to be like young millionaire, thousandaires who are making their money in these non-traditional ways. I think that's kind of where it was supposed to be. And I don't know if people dropped off or if it was just boring and Bravo was like, bring them Bravo.
Spice it up.
They know what to do, Because like I said, they didn't even know who Gia was. They only knew her from that viral song that she sang. That's how they knew her. They did not know her. They were like, oh, that's her? Oh, yeah, I remember that video from TikTok. Like, they didn't know who she was. So, yeah. And, so you said how did Brooks get it? Because Brooks knows them from college. So, the guy, Charlie knows Riley and Brooks. They all went to NYU together. So, they all know each other from college. So, Riley and Brooks know each other from college. Gia met them at BravoCon, but because Gia lives right there, they've hung out a few times or whatever. Adriana is moving to New York. I think that was probably for the show, but she's moving to New York. She wants to reconnect with Riley because her and Riley, they used to be friends, but of course, when their parents fell out, then they kind of lost touch with each other. So they're sort of reconnecting. Riley's boyfriend is the heir to the Zaxby fortune, not Riley. Adriana.
Oh, her boyfriend. Okay, because I've been hearing that too about Zaxby, and I said, "Girl, why are we talking about chicken? Like, what are we?"
Yes, that's her boyfriend.
That's money right there.
That's money, right. So I mean, it's only on episode 2, and I reserve the right to be like, yeah, I'm done with this. But so far, I got some things to talk about. I got some things.
And that's how I feel about Divorce Sisters. I reserved the right to say, y'all ain't touching this
I
shit.
thought it was a movie in the beginning until I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, these are episodes. Okay. Yeah. I feel like he could have came up with a better name.
I was thinking the same thing, like Next Gen NYC.
Well, no, I'm talking about Divorce Sisters.
Oh, Divorce Sisters. Oh.
I don't know, life during divorce. I don't know. I just feel like putting sisters on it, I automatically think of sisters. So I'm just like, oh, did somebody?
I did too, and I'm so glad it's not a spinoff of Sister because I'm like, ain't no in hell I could touch it. I definitely wouldn't be able to touch it if it was a spinoff.
Oh no, yeah, no, I absolutely wouldn't touch that. I absolutely would not touch that. No,
because Karen is still fucking pregnant, and they come back on July 16th, my birthday, and I saw the clip during the BET Awards. The bitch was at the hospital. I said, what the fuck? I left that show almost a whole season ago. And this girl was pregnant then, and now she's, oh my God, Tyler,
I do you one better. I left that show three years ago, and that's when she first found out she was pregnant. And I'm not exaggerating. I have not reviewed Sisters in 3 years. The fact that she is still pregnant, like, come on, Tyler.
The only thing I know about Sisters is the weird couple that had that wedding.
They are weird.
Like that's the only. I've never watched an episode of Sisters, don't. But I know that lady, and I think is her husband also a part of the show.
He was at one point.
Yeah, like that's like, when they was having that wedding. Low-key, I was locked in looking at all them videos because I was just like, what is it?
Don't never watch Sisters.
Yeah. And she's pregnant.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. I think it was a picture, and I was like, oh well, congratulations. I just wish they would leave their face.
I do too.
Because it's getting uncanny valley over there. And I was like, girl,
they're going to be on Botched pretty soon because them faces is looking.
A new show is coming out of like Botched with myself.
Kim Zolciak.
Yeah. With Kim Zolciak, Diamond is on it. I said, what is happening?
Kim is looking for a paycheck.
Well, she taking.
I'm about to say, Kim is desperate for money. Because her and her daughter are on there. I'm like, girl, you just desperate for something.
Oh, her daughter's on. Is it Ariana?
Riel.
Riel.
Yeah, they both looking for a paycheck. Because Kim ain't got no money.
Right. Ariana said that can't be calling her for money.
That's sad that you calling your kids for money.
Because she squandered it.
Not only did she say that her mama spent all of her money, but now we calling her for money.
I would block Kim.
Child. That's what her boyfriend be side on. The boyfriend be like,
Hopefully she don't mess up that relationship. Because that's money. That Zaxby money is money. Okay, girl.
Child.
And then I heard people saying they want Kim.
Let me get off of here, y'all. I feel like I gotta take a shower. I don't know. I feel like all of a sudden I feel like I'm itching.
What you itching?
Like I had the door open and I feel like something must have flew in or something. I don't know.
Probably mosquitoes. Well, I mean, down here we got
mosquitoes. Yeah, I feel like y'all see I keep scratching my head and stuff. Let me go get in the shower, honey. But TGIF is Friday. Thank you. I'm so glad that you decided to join us, Leology. Yes. I look forward to your insight this season. And this looks like it's going to be a good season, though.
It does.
Yes. Well, we know Miami delivers. So I definitely believe it's going to be.
I keep telling people you got to stop sleeping on Miami. I keep trying to tell people to stop sleeping on Miami. Miami is the best franchise right now for me.
Them and Salt Lake City are top 2.
But they do a horrible job advertising Miami. It's like they really do treat Miami like the redheaded stepchild. Like they don't do nothing for them, which sucks.
But they didn't promote Roni that well last season either. But they shouldn't have.
Well, we know why.
We know why. Anyway, let me go before we start a whole nother conversation, child. But I will talk to y'all later and enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.